Coming up on Global Business, trade factor, Italian Vice Premier and Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani is currently in China as both countries look to step up cooperation and dialogue. Services in Focus 2023 China International Fair for Trade and Services is in full swing. We check out the latest. BRI Expedition. CGTN reporters share their insights of visits along the Belt and Road countries. Today, we take you to Kazakhstan. Hello and welcome to this edition of Global Business on CGTN. I'm Guan Xing. And first up in the program, Chinese President Xi Jinping sent a letter congratulating the opening of the Smart China Expo 2023, which kicked off today in southwest Chongqing. Xi pointed out that new technologies are advancing quickly. Internet, big data, cloud computing, AI, and blockchain tech are rapidly evolving and transforming the global industrial chain. He added that China prioritizes the development of the digital economy, aiming to integrate digital technologies and industries to create a digital China. He also said China seeks cooperation for innovation and smart industry growth. The theme of this year's Smart China Expo is pulling together wisdom and strength. The event brings together top-notch experts and leaders of cutting-edge smart technology companies from around the world. Chinese Premier Li Qiang will attend the 18th G20 summit this weekend at the invitation of the government of the Republic of India. And this year's summit is to be held in the Indian capital, New Delhi. The Chinese Foreign Ministry says China hopes the summit can further consolidate consensus, convey confidence, and promote development. Italian Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani arrived in Beijing on Sunday for a three-day visit. During his visit, Tajani and his counterpart Wang Yi will attend the 11th joint meeting of the China-Italy Government Committee. China's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin said on Monday that bilateral ties have strengthened between China and Italy in recent years. He also said China is willing to consolidate political trust and deepen practical cooperation with Italy. Before departing for his visit, Tajani said Italy wants to work with China and is ready for Chinese investments. And now for more discussions on China-Italy relations, we're joined by Wang Le, researcher at the Center for European Studies at East China Normal University. Thank you for joining us, Ms. Wang. So in your opinion, what are the key takeaways from Italian Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani's visit when it comes to China-Italy relations?
From my perspective, Italian minister's visit to China signals continued economic cooperation. This visit comes as a significant move to maintain and strengthen economic and trade cooperation between Italy and China. It is crucial for Italy to find a balanced approach to economic cooperation with China, focusing on mutual benefits rather than solely pursuing its own interests. Secondly, this visit fully reflects the willingness of the two sides to strengthen mutual understanding and accommodate each other's concerns. China is committed to working with Italy to utilize this visit as an opportunity to fulfill important common understandings between the leaders of both nations. So both nations aim to solidify political mutual trust, deepen practical cooperation, enhance multilateral cooperations. So the steady development of China-Italy relations, as well as China-EU relations, so we could jointly tackle global challenges. And thirdly, this visit is of positive significance to injecting new impetus to the deepening and solid development of China-Italy cooperation strategic partnership in the next stage, because next year, 2024, will mark the 20th anniversary of the establishment of the China-Italy Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, providing a significant opportunity for further development of the bilateral relationship.
So do you see the two sides are seizing the opportunities? How do you see the bilateral economic and commercial relationship developing in the near future?
China and Italy are important trading partners of each other. The bilateral trade volume between China and Italy has hit new highs year after year. This growth in Italy-China trade has outpaced the growth of China-EU trading during the same period. So we could say that the industrial structures of the two countries have distinctive characteristics. Italy's influence in automaking, especially in the mid to high-end segments, holds way in China. Italy has also substantial market growth potential in China for its machinery and equipment, including service, luxury goods, and agricultural products. China has comprehensive advantages in supporting industries, infrastructures, and human resources. So, in the process of promoting Chinese modernization, China will continue to open wider to the outside world, providing better business environment and services. The two sides can seize the opportunity, fully utilize various mutually beneficial cooperation mechanisms based on existing collaborations, maintain and strengthen trade cooperations, and explore the potential for cooperation in new industries and new business formats.
Indeed, a lot of untapped potential there. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And that was Wang Le, a senior researcher at the Center for European Studies at East China Normal University. Well, China's state economic planner has announced the establishment of a special bureau to support the growth of the country's private sector. And Chen Ziyuan reports.
The State Commission Office of Public Sector's Reform has granted approval for the creation of the Bureau of Private Economy Development.
As a specialized agency to promote the development and growth of the private economy, it will strengthen the overall coordination of policies in related fields and promote the early implementation and effectiveness of various major initiatives.
The Bureau will operate under the National Development and Reform Commission with the aim of boosting private sector confidence. It represents another major step in addressing the economic challenges faced by private enterprises in China, and follows July's move by 8 government ministries to issue 28 measures designed to support the private economy.
The Commission is working on establishing private investment project banks, ensuring the availability of land for key private investment projects, setting out part of the central budget to attract private investment, and establishing mechanisms to evaluate the work and coordination of private investment projects.
The new bureau will be responsible for tracking and analyzing the development of China's private economy. It will plan, coordinate, and draft development and investment policies.
Based on the current work, the establishment of the Private Economy Development Bureau under the Commission will help strengthen coordination and solidify and expand current achievements. It will create a better environment and offer stronger support for the growth of the private economy.
Government officials say the Bureau will next establish what they describe as a communication mechanism with the private enterprises. The Bureau's role will be to coordinate and resolve major economic development issues and support the private sector and companies to improve their performance at home as well as international competitiveness. Chen Ziyuan, CGTN, Beijing.
And now let's take a look at other headlines from China. China has extended multiple tax reduction policies till the end of 2027. These policies aim to spur investment in green energy and innovation. China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology unveiled a blueprint aimed at helping the country's power equipment industry achieve annual growth of 9% this year and next by encouraging domestic purchases and boosting exports. And China's logistics sector continued to expand in August. The Logistics Prosperity Index stood at 50.3, above the 50 threshold, separating growth from contraction. It is the 6th consecutive month that the figure stayed above 50. Time for the 2023 China International Fair for Trade and Services. Today, the first day that the fair is open to the public and also the third day of the event. And this year's CIFTIS spotlights significant advancements in science and technology, particularly in the field of health services. Smart medical care robots autostereoscopy, and digital twin technology have left visitors marveling at China's achievements in this domain. Currently, 11 pilot demonstration provinces and cities are in negotiations with investors, anticipating the signing of contracts worth 70 billion yuan during the event. Meanwhile, as the Global Trade Services Fair continues in Beijing, China has strengthened its tourism partnerships, including with the United States. The two countries have reached an agreement to double the number of passenger flights with each other from this month. In response to the U.S. Department of Transportation's announcement, Chinese passenger flights to the U.S. have already increased to 18 per week as of last Friday. China and the United States have reiterated that people-to-people ties play a very important role in bilateral relations and vow to deepen tourism cooperation with each other. And for more on this, let's cross to John Terrett in New York. Hi there, John. So what's the latest on China-U.S. tourism cooperation?
Hi there, Guanjing. How funny we're talking on this day. It's Labor Day here. Major public holiday. Good day for tourism. Last hurrah of the summer going on, although the sun's not really shining at the moment. When Gina Raimondo, who's the Commerce Secretary, went to Beijing last week, one of her stated aims was to boost cultural and tourism ties. And to that end, she met with Hu Heping, who is the Chinese Cultural and Tourism Minister. And together they agreed that they would create the 14th China-US Tourism Summit. And it'll be in the first half of 2024. Now, I don't know the date. I don't know the city. Maybe the Chinese people do. I don't know. But it'll be in the first 6 months of next year. And the aim, building on what you were saying just before you introduced me, will be to make sure that they put even more flights on between the two countries to adjust those travel advisories and keep on top of them, and to make it easier for Chinese people to get visas to come into the United States. Now, this summit, when it happens next year, will be the first one that they've had since 2018, which was in Seattle and Washington, where there's a huge Chinese community in the northwest of the country. I will tell you, New York, where I am at Ground Zero in Lower Manhattan at the moment, is very keen to get Chinese visitors back. The reason is it takes 4 domestic tourists coming in from, say, New Jersey or Connecticut or Pennsylvania. It takes 4 of them to spend what one overseas tourist or Chinese tourist spend when they come here for a week's holiday. So New York is very keen to get the Chinese back in. And at the moment, Guanjin, China is vying for 3rd place with Latin America, mainly Mexico and Brazil, for the number of tourists who come to this country, China and Latin America, behind the really big ones for New York, which is the United Kingdom and Canada. Guanjin?
That's a great news for tourists from both sides. Well, thank you so much for the update, and our John Terrett for us in New York. Well, the UK is this year's guest country of honor, and it has sent dozens of companies to participate in the event. And earlier, our Zhen Junfeng had an exclusive interview with Tom Simpson, Managing Director for China at the China-Britain Business Council, on the UK's involvement in this year's CIFTIS. Take a listen.
As the China president of CPBC, I view CIFTIS as a platform for China-UK cooperation.
CIFTIS for CPBC has always been a very important platform for us because the UK, let's remember the UK is 80% services, trade and services
80%.
Economy. So our productivity as an economy comes from services. And the UK is also the 2nd largest exporter of services in the world. So for us, our exports and services to a market like China are critical, are very important. And yet at the moment, our exports and services to China only constitute 27% of our total exports to China. So we see that number.
Only, so there's a potential.
Only. We see that should be much higher. So for other markets around the world, services are usually higher than goods for the UK, but for China, goods are higher than services. So we want to bring that number up. So we see the service industry as a key front to expand and grow the connections between our two countries, and CIFTIS being the ideal platform for us to promote new ways of working together.
Okay, so let us know what kind of companies, British companies, prominent companies are present here at CIFTIS. What kind of industries are they involved in?
Absolutely. So I'm pleased to say a very wide range of industries. So first of all, probably most prominently, you have the financial services industries. So you have banking, insurance, asset management, green finance, all these areas very much represented in our delegation and in our program over the course of CIFTIS. But also areas like creative industries, where the UK is a leading producer of television, of film, of games, of publishing, all these different areas. And we have, again, a delegation from this sector represented here in Beijing over the course of CIFTIS, and also sports, where we have representatives from snooker, from football.
CI is so successful now.
And very successful.
Yeah.
And whereas, so for trade and service, export and services, CIFTIS is the platform. And we work a lot with the Beijing government in general, but also especially around CIFTIS and also with MOFCOM. And so together we see it as an ideal opportunity to promote excellence in UK services, deals that were signed in the education sector, in the TV sector, so a wide range of different areas, and also actually in healthcare as well.
I guess the previous 3 years had interrupted the services sector coordination between China and UK because services involve people-to-people communication, direct cooperation. So have you seen a trend of recovery in the services cooperation so far this year?
Yeah, it's a very good point, and I think the service industry certainly was impacted more heavily than goods, and in fact, on a goods side, we saw an increase in the UK exports to China, so that's been quite healthy. On the services side, more impacted, but as soon as UK companies had the ability to travel back into China, we've seen a sort of a wave of visits, mostly from UK senior representatives from UK multinationals that are already here or who are already investing here, who've already got established operations here. But I think what CIFTIS marks is the kind of beginning of that next phase, I think, where it's more about companies who perhaps in the last few years weren't able to do business here, who are now saying, we need to get back out to China. We need to be engaging with our partners, engaging with on potential new projects. And so that's why we've seen this group of 60 UK companies taking part in this delegation this week.
The CIFTIS also featured the active participation of 224 financial institutions and businesses. They presented their cutting-edge digital financial services. Our Olivia He has more.
The financial services exhibition at this year's CIFTIS covers an area of 14,000 square meters. It has seen a notable surge in exhibition numbers, scale, and impacts compared to previous editions. Among the exhibition areas, the digital RMB showcase obtained the highest visitor retention and engagement.
The bracelet I'm having now is a digital RMB hot wallet. It allows payment without an internet connection and electricity. And now let's try to get a coffee using it.
The digital RMB hard wallet employs cutting-edge security chip technology and provides a range of product choices, such as bracelets, payment cards, keychains, and more. These options cater to the varied preferences of users.
Moreover, a wide array of digital RMB hot wallet offerings, including student ID cards and electronic senior citizen ID cards, were showcased. Prominent banks and financial institutions illustrated the seamless integration of digital RMB across diverse scenarios, including transportation, dining, cultural tourism, cross-border settlements, and more.
My biggest feeling is that using digital RMB is so convenient.
After coming to this exhibition hall, I downloaded the digital RMB app so that I could make payments here.
At the digital RMB exhibition, many banks and companies have set up all these interactive facilities to make the experience of using digital RMB more fun and engaging.
For instance, there's a postcard printer right in front of me. All I need to do is scan the code to pay and upload my picture.
And I'm done. This is a postcard with my picture on it. The whole payment process is really easy and quick.
Upon leaving the indoor exhibition area, we stumbled upon Digital RMB Avenue outside. Here, plenty of digital RMB consumption scenarios await visitors, providing hands-on experiences to demonstrate how digital RMB can be applied in various aspects of our future daily lives. Olivia He, CGTN, Beijing.
This year marks the 10th anniversary of the China-initiated Belt and Road Initiative. Over the past decade, the BRI has evolved into a widely embraced global initiative and a collaborative platform engaging more than 150 countries and over 30 international organizations. The Belt and Road Partnership has triggered almost $1 trillion in global investments, materializing through more than 3,000 collaborative projects. According to the World Bank, if fully realized by 2030, BRI transportation projects are projected to enhance global real income by 0.7 to 2.9 percentage point, elevating 7.6 million individuals from extreme poverty and 32 million from moderate poverty. And CGTN reporters are bringing their insights along the Belt and Road countries. Setting out from Urumqi, capital of China's Xinjiang region, our reporters have traveled to Kazakhstan, Ethiopia, and Malaysia. We first go to Kazakhstan, where the Shelek wind farm stands as an important example of China-Kazakhstan energy cooperation. Our reporter Ning Hong visits the site.
At the Shelek wind farm, local staff are inspecting the turbines. Launched in June 2022.
The 60-megawatt Shelek wind farm alleviates the power shortage in Almaty to some extent and also reduces annual carbon dioxide emissions.
In the middle of the desert, this is the Shelek wind farm, a major project between China and Kazakhstan to promoting the sustainable development in the region.
The Shelek wind farm boasts an installed capacity of 60 megawatts, housing 24 wind turbine units developed and operated by Power China. The Shelek project was executed by Power China's Chengdu branch. Zhang Shuai, hailing from Chengdu, has been involved in the project from start to finish over the course of 4 years.
Returning here, I'm still very excited and proud. After our project was put into operation, it can produce 228 million kilowatts per hour of clean, green energy annually, providing stable electricity for 70,000 local households. It's estimated that it can reduce 160,000 tons of carbon dioxide emissions annually.
The Shelek wind farm adopts wind turbines and construction standards from China with a high degree of automation. The control room at the wind farm is manned by professionals from both China and Kazakhstan, closely monitoring the wind turbines through the system. The wind farm has been stable for over 1 year.
I majored in computer science, and this highly automated job is very much needed for my profession. I really like this job because this wind farm has the most advanced automation equipment in Kazakhstan, and I've learned a lot.
The wind farm is currently in its operation phase, and engineering teams from Power China and Kazakhstan are jointly responsible.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Dmitry Zenevich, a senior energy expert in Kazakhstan, underscores the vast potential for renewable energy in the country. He is currently cooperating with Power China to develop renewable energy in the Central Asian country and envisions a bright future.
In Kazakhstan, I think there's huge potential for hydropower, wind energy, and solar energy, which means many projects can be carried out here. The vast grasslands of Kazakhstan have great wind energy potential, and many more stations can be built than currently exist.
In the past 4 years, Zhang Shuai has developed a strong interest and affection for Kazakhstan, and he hopes to return.
In the past 4 years, I've dedicated myself to the Shelek wind farm project. Emotionally, I now feel like this wind farm is like my second child.
After more than a year since it was launched, experts say the Shelek wind farm shows the potential and feasibility of China-Kazakh cooperation in green energy. Ning Hong, CGTN, Almaty.
Kazakhstan was one of the first countries to join the Belt and Road Initiative. Under the framework, China and Kazakhstan have been cooperating across the huge range of fields. And Gao Gaong reports.
With a population of almost 20 million people, Kazakhstan is located in Central Asia and borders Russia, Uzbekistan, China, and several other countries. Under the framework of the Belt and Road Initiative, China and Kazakhstan have boosted cooperation in the areas of connectivity, production, economy and trade, people-to-people and cultural exchanges. The two countries have developed the road and railway as well as international land-to-sea transportation links. According to official data, railway cargo volume between China and Kazakhstan amounted to 23 million tons in 2022, up 20% year-on-year. Official data also shows that both countries have formed a list of over 50 projects, with a total value worth over $21 billion in production capacity and investment cooperation. And China is now Kazakhstan's second biggest trading partner, its biggest export destination, and its second largest source of imports. According to the General Administration of Customs of China, the total volume of trade in goods between China and Kazakhstan stood at over $31 billion in 2022, up more than 23% from the previous years. Cooperation is also expanding into the green, digital, scientific and technological fields, with renewable energy programs such as wind farms and hydropower plants helping Kazakhstan shift to green and low-carbon development. Gaoang, CGTN.
Nestled in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, the Urumqi International Land Port is a key project within the core area of the Belt and Road Initiative. Of the past years, the integration of one-stop services has bolstered trade efficiency between China and countries along the Belt and Road network. Our Zhu has more.
As a key stop for the China-Europe freight trains, the Urumqi International Land Port is a crucial nexus linking the economic area of Asia and Europe. Furthermore, it functions as the most proximal logistics center on the West Passage of the China-Europe freight trains, offering connectivity to Central and Western Asia, as well as Europe. In the first 6 months of this year, about 700 China-Europe freight trains have been shipped through Xinjiang, and over 80% of them operated through here. In recent years, a so-called one-stop goods clearance services hall has been set up. It has helped reduce the goods clearance time into only 1 hour.
Previously, in the absence of the one-stop goods clearance service hall, companies were required to navigate various departments for procedures, including customs, railway, and international road departments. However, with the current setup, they can efficiently handle all processes in a single location, ensuring swift completion.
Besides speeding up on-site clearance, online services have also made it easier for companies from different provinces to apply for goods clearance.
For customers located outside Urumqi, the entire process can be carried out seamlessly online, eliminating the need for any manual intervention. This includes tasks like reserving train storage space and making settlement payments.
Looking ahead, the land port plans to establish additional centers with diverse functions to offer companies more accessible services for exporting their products.
By 2025, we aim to develop a business and trade center where companies can showcase their products, alongside standardized factories and an industrial park as part of our expansion efforts.
Thanks to measures like these, there is a substantial surge in activity. Data from the land port shows more than 19,000 freight trucks shipped through the port last year, doubling that of 2021. Additionally, over 1,000 China-Europe freight trains operated, with a year-on-year increase of 16.5%. Zhu, Urumqi in Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region.
Tune in tomorrow for our next destination, Shymkent in southern Kazakhstan. Our reporter Huang Yue would take us to a local oil factory which has been upgraded into a modern and environmental-friendly refinery through the joint efforts of China and Kazakhstan. And that would do it for this edition of Global Business here on CGTN. Thank you for being with us. The Point with Liu Xing is coming up next. Stay tuned.